What's happening, tubes? It's Tuesday. Heading to work. I did look online last night for that fuel pump. I didn't have any luck, but doesn't mean that there isn't one up there. I'm going to give the man a call in Washington today at some point in time to see if he can get me one or has one on standby or whatever, because he's usually pretty good about keeping his stuff, you know, stocked up. And I've never had an issue with him not having parts and whatnot. But we gotta have it, boys. We gotta have it. Like I said, you know, there's two sides to that pump, and it's old and derelict and just wore out. The whole lawnmower's wore out. You know, honest opinion. It's got like 780. I want to say 784, 85 hours on the whole mower or whatever. And as far as I know, the engine and transmission has never been rebuilt, as far as I know. I do know that someone had been in the valve cover on it, because it, you know, normally when they put it in from the factory, they have their own seal. They don't use the silicone type stuff. Well, anyway, with that being said, someone had been in it and re-siliconed a gasket around the top of it and squished it on or whatever. But I'm going to hope and pray that he can get me one, whether it be ordering it or having it in stock, and I get it and it fixes the problem. So it may be Saturday before I can even get the damn thing up and going, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But we'll just have to wait and see. And as far as today, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure we'll get into something. Well, tubes, I wish you guys could have seen the cloud of pollen about 2 hours ago. It was insane. We had a shower earlier, like a little rain shower, but it didn't amount to nothing. We need a real good one to come and wash some of it off, kill it down a little bit. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. It's going to have to do it more than once. Has any of you guys seen the new Fast 7? Well, I've not. However, I heard that it was really good, and they did Paul Walker's farewell very respectively. I did see a scene that's been up and down Facebook pretty much the last few days. And they used very, very, very little CGI, and his brother favored him quite well. And the scene was like a little beach scene, and like with Paul being with Mia scene to him and Dom, aka Vin Diesel, racing one last time. It was really well put together, I must say. Oh God, this son of a bitch out here is cutting this fucking grass. And he's a bastard. He's lazy. He is the poster boy for fuck goofery. But anyway, I'm at the homestead. Time to get a little bit of grub. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at that old bastard. Son of a bitch. So, back to the store as far as Paul Walker is concerned. I'm gonna see if I can try to find that little bit of video. And maybe I won't get no copyright problems. I hope. And put it in so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you hadn't already. I also found out earlier that good old Roscoe P. Coltrane from the TV show Dukes of Hazzard passed away. He was also a resident of the state. Well, from my understanding, he was originally from Florida, but he moved to Hickory way back when. He was 88 years old. At least I think he was 88. May have been 84. But I'll end up throwing in a little bit of that too, in case you guys don't know. A lot of the younger generation doesn't.
Oh, Duke. Luke Duke. Are you out there? You got your ears on. This is an emergency. This is Sheriff Roscoe. Will you come in, please?
What do you suppose Roscoe wants? Something's wrong. He said, please.
There's Luke here, Roscoe. What's wrong?
I'll tell you what's wrong. Big Jim Downey has kidnapped the boss. He tied me up, and they've got the boss out there somewhere, and they're going to kill him.
Kill him? Why?
Because he thinks that the boss put you two boys up to double-crossing him with those plates that you've got. Now, it's all your fault.
Now, look, Roscoe, this ain't our fault.
Look, boys, the boss, he ain't always been the fairest. Ain't none of us perfect. And, look, he's not only my brother-in-law, he's a human being. And, I like him. He's my friend. And if Big Jim Downey plants him under 6 feet of clover, I'm gonna miss him. Now, if you boys don't want to help boys get out of this predicament, I can't blame you. But if anything happens to my little fat buddy, I ain't gonna forgive you.
Which way do you think they went?
They took him toward Dixfield County, I believe. And Bo, Luke, God bless you for this.
Yeah, thanks, Roscoe. It's all right. Later.
I'm gone.
It was a good show. Had good family values. And plus it was fun to watch an orange Charger jump ship. the reason why I call the old man the son of a bitch or a bastard or whatever, well, other than the fact that he really is that we had obviously had moved there before he bought that property he's cutting his grass on. And the way the deal works or whatever, as far as the property is concerned, we have a pine tree that's on our side that, you know, sheds pine cones. Well, the pine cones obviously fall on his side. Well, if my mom with a bum hip hadn't been too long had, you know, complete hip replacement on one side, can get out there and pick up shit, there is no fucking reason why his old ass can't get off a lawnmower. If he's able to get on one and able to get off of one and able to do the things that he does, there should be no reason why he can't pick up pine cones on his side. It should be a shared thing, not one person. Oh, but what does he do? Every time he cuts grass, he just chunks the pine cones over and, you know, tears up his fucking lawnmower blades and bitches about it the entire time he's doing it. That's why he's a son of a bitch. Secondly, he so happened to be cutting his grass one day, and sorry for the pause there. He so happened to be cutting his grass one day, and my mom was out there picking up our pine cones. Yeah, because she didn't have nothing to do. She just felt like doing something. And the son of a bitch was throwing them over there and hit her in the back with one. And if I had seen it, I probably would have drug his old ass off the lawnmower and beat the shit out of him. But there's more to the story about that property that he cuts on, but I have to tell that in a little while. Well, boys, finally off work. Get ready to head to the homestead and work on this lawnmower. I managed to get a fuel pump for it. My mom said that she was bored and didn't mind going, so I gave her my money and she went to Washington and got me the fuel pump, and she spoke to the man and I told her what to tell him, and he basically said exactly what I thought, and what it was doing was the fuel pump related problem. So I did say that I would fix it, or at least try to, and if it solved the problem, good. If it didn't, then he'd be expecting to see it, because I'm not trying to go into the internals and mess with none of that stuff, because it's not that I couldn't, it's just that I don't want to. I'd rather have a professional that does that kind of stuff do it every day. And with that being said, if it come out being something more wrong with it than what it's worth to fix, I'm probably going to scrap it. And I hate to do it because it was, you know, a good running mower. But if I'm looking at spending, you know, anywhere up to $1,000 or more for another engine, because that's about how much they cost, I can just go and get another lawnmower for that and, you know, be all said and done. And it will be a John Deere. Which, I mean, I had planned on trying to get one anyway, but if this happens to come out being minor, I'll probably just end up keeping it as a backup in case the other one should go down when I get the other one. And I don't know when that'll be. I was shooting for trying to get it at the first of the year, but other things had to be addressed. And that's just how it works. It's part of life. You got to deal with the ups and downs, the ins and outs, and all that jazz. But anyway, I'm not sure if that's gonna be something that I'm going to film and do at the same time, or if I'm just gonna do it and get it running and then show that it's running, and yeah, because I don't know what I'm up against as soon as I get here. We'll have to find out once I get it, get the part in hand and look at it and diagnose. Well, I ain't gonna say diagnose, just assess the situation. But anyway, you guys be cool. Talking to you. Alright, boys, finally got it done, finally got caught up, got everything squared away. As you can see, it's been moved, it's uncovered, and well, I mean, it was uncovered yesterday, but anyway, you see it's moved, and it ain't that I moved it myself, it moved under its own power. Put the fuel pump together, because there was a little assembly required. Put it on. I still wasn't getting anything to the carb. So I got thinking, what if, now let's just say, what if's a big word for 2 letters. What if the line going from the pump to the carb was stopped up? So I go inside, and I don't have an air compressor or anything out here, so blowing is damn near impossible unless you're a chick. But anyway, so I go and I go in the house and get my little handy dandy $5 can of compressed air, usually for laptop repair and cleaning and shit like that, which I do a little of that on the side too, but people are kind of picky, so I don't do that anymore. Plus they don't fucking pay. Let me show you guys what I did. Okay, now I know you see this bungee cord here. Well, the reason why I've got it attached is because I wanted to see if the fuel would kind of siphon itself down and then come in. Well, I got thinking about it too. I said, you know what? I said, who's to say that this thing is supposed to have a ton of fuel in it? I mean, the filter is on the inside, so the fuel is going to come in through the line. It's going to wick the filter anyway, and what's inside the filter is going to get sucked in through the pump and then from the pump to the carb. So I said, well, maybe that'll help, maybe it won't. So that's the reason why it's up there. I honestly don't think it's going to matter now that it's finally got some pressure behind it and it's doing what it does. But that one there is an updated version. I've got 2 pictures of 2 sets of pictures I took of it before and after, as far as them side by side. and the ends here, they have like that little, trying not to get my finger in, of course it's trying not to fucking focus, son of a bitch. Anyway, the way the connectors come in or whatever, they have a little O-ring on them, and you got to push these, there's a tab on both sides, you got to push in and then push the connector in, and it pretty much locks itself in. Got all that shit done, like I said, and I ended up having to get a can of air and blowing in the line, and I finally got some fuel coming out. All of it came in this little box right here or whatever. Let me zoom back out. I think that was a note. If you have a Kohler 15 horse Commander engine, I'm not sure if it works for any of the rest of them or not. The part number for the fuel pump itself is right there. If you want to pause and get all the information, you're more than welcome to. In this box, you get the bag the pump is in, the bag for your hardware, and if you need the number for the hardware, then pause and there you go. Well, anyway, those were all within that. There's the old pump there, and like I said, these ends, they're different. The way they, is it gonna focus? Is it gonna focus? Not really. Anyway, I think that's also a number. Anyway, it comes with this snap ring. You don't use the snap ring for the pump itself. You use it to help assist you get the connectors in and out so you can adjust them however you want to. It did come with instructions. I may or may not scan this. I don't think I'm going to, because I mean, you know, if you get the pump, you'll get the instructions. But I mean, you know, it gives you a description of everything that it comes with and whatnot, and it pretty much walks you through it. And steps are fairly simple. I mean, you know, a 2-year-old. I don't do small engine repair, but I took a course in it when I was doing my homeschool stuff, as far as trying to get my diploma, and I scored high on small engine repair, even though I don't do small engine repair. That was pretty much easy. So with that being said, I'm going to attempt to just leave it like it is. I'm not going to start it up anymore tonight. I'm going to just let it do what it needs to do. Let everything settle. And tomorrow when I get off work, because tomorrow's my short day, I may do it when I get up. And come out here and start it and see if everything's still working like it's supposed to. I hope it is, because if not, that means I'm gonna have to go borrow my old lady dad's trailer and have to haul it all the way to the dealership or whatever and let them work on it. But I'm hoping that I don't have to do all that. Oh, and if you notice, you know, I skint my tater back. I got dry skin too. I will until they start getting some sun up there anyway. Yeah, it's just the thing with me, and you know, as far as wintertime, dry scalp. And you know, I'm not all for taking the special shampoos and shit, because them fuckers stink. That pretty much sums it up. I did use it. I took it out. I need to make sure all the pulleys and whatnot is greased, and so I don't have any bearing issues as far as them falling apart and tearing some shit all up. But I'm glad I got it together. I'm glad I got it running. I was, you know, starting to be a little disappointed, not with myself, but with it. And now I'm a hell of a lot better as far as ease of mind anyway. Yeah, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and you might as well subscribe if you haven't already. And until tomorrow, stay groovy.